Turning now to our new series on the growing problems with childcare nationwide and some potential solutions, we think. In our look at America's childcare crisis, we found the pandemic and low wages have made things worse for families and providers, too. You know, parents are struggling to get help, especially care they can afford. Care they can afford, that's the question. At the same time, daycare say it's just hard to find and keep good staff. So we begin our series today with Meg Oliver reporting from Montana.
It's the most devastating decision I've ever had to make in my life.
Cindy Moats never imagined that after more than 35 years in business, she would be forced to close her daycare. Her facility serves around 100 kids in Billings, Montana. Moats cannot find and keep staff. Before the pandemic, she had around 35 to 40 employees. Now she says she's down to about 15, not enough to stay open.
I can only do so much when I can't get a workforce. I can't do this job to my expectation or anybody's expectation without a workforce.
A survey from the National Association for the Education of Young Children found that 4 in 5 daycares nationwide are understaffed. 78% of those surveyed said low wages are the main reason it's hard to recruit new employees.
How hard is it to find affordable childcare?
It is extremely hard. If you don't have a job, then you can't afford to have childcare while you're looking for one. If you get a job, you have to have childcare almost immediately so that you can start, but there aren't any spaces available.
Sarah Smith works at Explore Montessori and Academy in Bozeman, Montana.
1, 2, 3, go!
Her 3-year-old daughter attends daycare here. In return, Smith gets an almost 30% discount for her childcare.
If you're paying for childcare, you can't save for college for your child. There's things that you can get that your kids might need. Trips and vacations, all of that gets put on hold when you have a kid in daycare.
According to the U.S. Treasury Department, parents of children under 5 years old pay on average around $10,000 a year for childcare. Families currently need to devote about 13% of their income to childcare, a number the U.S. Treasury considers unaffordable for most. Smith is grateful for her job, where her salary is around double the average for daycare workers in the state. But she has a master's degree and is a teacher by trade, a career she's put on hold to afford childcare.
What are you qualified to make?
In Bozeman, between 65 and 70 a year.
And right now you're bringing in?
40.
40. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of a gut punch?
It hurts a little bit.
Jessica Dane is the owner of Explore Academy, where Smith works. She's committed to staying open, which means she's had to raise the price she charges families. To retain staff, she has to pay them competitively.
What kind of competition are you facing in terms of salaries out there right now?
Well, it's very terrifying to have a weekend because often my staff will go to a social event and just get offered $5 more an hour.
What kind of jobs are they leaving for?
Honestly, a few have left to work in marijuana grow places. Mm-hmm. That kind of breaks my heart because I'm like, I could really use their skills and their love and their passion with children, and the idea of that they're picking buds is kind of bums me out.
The child care system was never working. It was never working for those that relied on it in order to put food on the table. It was never working for those who used it as a career.
Chastity Lord is the president and CEO of Jeremiah Program, which helps disrupt poverty by supporting single moms and their children. She said child care is a social justice, economic, and community issue.
90% of child care workers are women. 50% of those are women of color. Their average pay is $12 an hour. The average pay for someone literally serving coffee in our country is $15 an hour. And so you are having people who sit at the nexus of a child's development who are literally working poor.
Back in Billings, Montana, Moats is closing Discovery Daycare and Preschool at the end of the month.
It's really hard to look at a parent and know that they don't have anywhere to take their kids, and they still have to go to work.
Megan Strickland is one of them. She attended the daycare as a child, and now her almost 2-year-old daughter goes here.
We don't have a plan yet. I don't know what we'll do. I have to stay working. That's not an option for our family.
Strickland is a nurse and pregnant with her second child. She's devastated by the daycare closing.
I don't know what has to change, but something has to change. Something's got to give at some point.
For CBS Mornings, Meg Oliver, Bozeman, Montana.
Something's got to change. Something's got to give. You just don't want it to be at the expense of your children.
No, it's a broken system.
Yeah.
Parents are paying too much, and then the child care workers are not getting enough.
Yeah, very broken.
The question is, should government intervene?
It's an ongoing conversation. You're right.